Inspectors also spring frequent surprise checks to make sure the captains of these boats are who they claim to be, and they will be asked to declare their movements during their stay in port. Meanwhile, off the Straits of Singapore, the Resilience, a ship of the Singapore Navy, is on patrol. The oil tankers, the liquefied gas carriers, and the oil terminal are all being watched. Armed with infrared binoculars, they train their sights on any unusual movement up to 20 kilometers away. Like a small boat heading the wrong way that could turn fuel carriers into floating bombs and bring the world's busiest port to its knees. When you're already the world's busiest port, how much bigger can you get? How about double? At the western limits of the Port of Singapore, a new container terminal is being built to move another 20 million containers a year. The price tag for all of this? Over $4 billion. For that price, everything about this terminal gets custom designed, including the land it stands on. 26 new docks will house the megaships of the future. They'll be built with huge concrete blocks called caissons. Cast on site, they will hold back the soil and will support the weight of the cranes that will eventually stand above them.
Fueled by the growth of China as a manufacturing hub for the world, we do see very positive outlook for container growth in this part of the world. And we would like to make sure that we're able to handle the biggest ships that are going to come to PSA Port.
Phase 1 of this new terminal has opened, and it's loaded with the latest in crane technology. It needs just 6 to 7 operators to run all 44 of these new generation bridge cranes. That's 1 man to every 6 cranes. So where are they? Meet the port's Millennial Edition crane operators. No vertigo, no hard hats, just climate-controlled game arcade comfort. Yes, it's the kind of job that inspires a grown man's childhood fantasies.
Probably I would wonder that maybe the contents of the containers inside might be a Lamborghini car. You know, Michael Jackson's equipment.
Oh well, too bad. Edwin doesn't get to use the gamma rays. It's now 6 in the evening, 2 hours before Roro sets sail again. The car jockeys have outdone themselves. 2 hours ahead of schedule, the last car gets squeezed in without a scratch. And that's the final whistle.
Listen here, we have just completed the operation today. We are supposed to finish at 1800 by right, but then we finished earlier than that. And so far so good, no accident, accidents free, and job well done to every one of you. Cheer for the day, man. Go!
Just days away from the Chinese Lantern Festival, and Singapore is looking, well, like any other modern city. With ships bringing goods from all over the world, few cities remain isolated from the global village. Even at the local bazaars, there's no escape from the American-inspired rides, Hong Kong paper lanterns, fruits from this morning's shipment, and don't forget the photo opportunity with the Made in Japan cameras. Everything was brought here and will be carried everywhere else from a port that keeps on going 24/7. But over at the megaship, there's no celebration. The extra containers it is taking on are going to keep the ship in port for another 3 hours.
Slightly later than what we expect, so we are estimated to sail around 02:03 hours.
It's 2 in the morning before the final containers are secured. The ship is finally ready to go. The captain is anxious to leave.
Hi, how's it going?
And 10 minutes before departure, the Shenzhen calls traffic control one last time.
Traffic control, this is OOCL Shenzhen. We are ready to leave now, over.
OCL Shenzhen, this is Kappa Control. Ready, you can proceed out. Over.
20 hours, 5,000 tons of diesel, and 7,000 containers later, the ship is on its way. But if you think you can call it a night, time for a reality check. This is the world's busiest port, and 3 in the morning seems as good a time as any for another hectic start at the end of another busy day.